Members of the committee, it is with great pleasure and honor that I introduce to the committee and the committees the National Commander of the Disabled American Veterans, Robert Barrera.
Thank you, Senator Kaka. Vote well and vote often. Commander, you have the floor.
A very kind thank you to Senator Kaka for that very generous introduction. Thank you so much, Senator. Mr. Chairman, I want to also thank you for this opportunity to appear before you and before your committees. On behalf of the more than 1.5 million members of the Disabled American Veterans and its auxiliary, I am honored for this opportunity to discuss the agenda of our nation's wartime disabled veterans and their families. Senators Kaka and Lurd, Representatives Filner and Boyer, I congratulate you on your leadership roles in the 111th Congress on legislation that is important to the nation's service-disabled veterans, their families, and their survivors. This year marks the 90th anniversary of the DAV. In 1920, veterans who had returned from what was then called the Great War were concerned about the mess that our government had made of programs for veterans. One of these veterans was Judge Robert S. Lawrence, an Army captain who had been wounded on November 10, 1918. This organization was born out of the special bonds and the solidarity of purpose as they tried to return to our normal life upon the return from war. As National Commander, I am extremely proud of the DAV's many accomplishments and the services that we provide to those who return from war, wounded and disabled, and to their loved ones as well. Mr. Chairman, since DAV was founded, advocating the meaningful and reasonable and responsible public policy for service-disabled veterans has been at the heart of who we are and of what we do. Today, our commitment in that regard takes on particular significance as America's brave young men and women have been sent into harm's way in Iraq and in Afghanistan. Each day, new casualties return, needing medical care and rehabilitation and a chance for a rewarding and productive life. Mr. Chairman, we must not forget that the citizens and the government of our country that sends its sons and daughters to defend the homeland and to fight its wars have a strong moral obligation to repay them for the burdens that they bear. Without their services and their sacrifices, we would not enjoy the freedoms that so many Americans take for granted. Mr. Chairman, I would like to extend our thanks to the leadership of this Congress for ensuring that the Department of Veterans Affairs has a budget that is sufficient to meet the needs of our nation's disabled veterans, their families, and their survivors. One of the DAV's highest priorities for the past several decades, reform of the VA healthcare funding, was enacted into law on October 22nd, 2009, when the President signed H.R. 1016, the Veterans Health Care Budget Reform and Transparency Act. This important legislation, overwhelmingly passed by Congress, requires the administration to include health care funding 1 year in advance. Further, it requires the Comptroller General to study the adequacy and the accuracy of the 8 health care baseline projections for 3 years and to report these results to Congress. Mr. Chairman, the veterans of this country owe you and your colleagues a debt of gratitude for the passage of this very important legislation.
Yeah.
Now the VA will know ahead of time what its new budget will be. But more importantly, health care services to veterans will not be disrupted by a lack of planning or untimely budgets. Mr. Chairman, Senator Burr and others on these committees who sponsor this legislation, please accept our sincere thanks for moving this funding reform proposal to its ultimate enactment. Another area solely needed reform is the benefits delivery system. As you know, a core mission of the VA is to provide benefits to relieve the economic effects of disability on veterans and their families. For these benefits to effectively fulfill their intended purpose, VA must promptly deliver them to veterans. Protracted delays in providing these benefits mean disabled veterans and their families suffer hardships. Protracted delays can lead to deprivation, bankruptcies, and homelessness. Disability benefits are critical for disabled veterans and should always be a top priority of our government. That the VA can promptly deliver to veterans only if it can process and adjudicate claims in a timely and in an accurate fashion. If a claim is not properly adjudicated the first time, it can take years and even more than a decade to receive an accurate decision. No one should be treated this way, and this is especially true of veterans who have earned the benefit due to them through honorable service to our nation. Therefore, reform of the Veterans Benefits Approval System is the VAV's highest priority for this year. And you can be sure that VAV members and other veterans and concerned citizens are united to eliminate the logjam of claims, to streamline the process, and to reduce the time that it takes to get a quality, accurate benefit decision from the VA. Do it right the first time.